It's the more you work the horse, the better it gets. The more you work anything else, the more worn out it is. Even the language is opposite. When a horse is broke, it's ready to work. So the more you work the horses, the better they become. My name is Jason Rutledge. I'm a farmer and a forester and a biological woodsman and a horseman. I run Ridgewind Farm here in Copper Hill, Virginia, in Floyd County on the plateau at about 3,000 feet in the edge of Appalachian. Yeah.
Christina, she looks like a warrior. I mean, she's just lean and...
I happen to use a very rare breed of horse called Suffolk Punch that were nearly extinct because they had never been developed for anything but farming. So they never made the big show circles. They were never used to pull beer wagons like the Clydesdales. So they didn't have the other support. So they've had to prove themselves by being useful in addressing human needs, and so I use them for farming and for forestry. They're very loyal, very hard-working. Horses are honest. Once you understand a horse and know how a horse is, you're generally going to be the same way all the time. But I've always seen the horses as sort of humbling because they're limiting my ability. I can't run over things. I can't pull 7 trees at a time. So it's sort of humbling in that sense, but it's also harmonizing because it harmonizes my presence with the natural world, because I can move slow enough about it that I get a chance to appreciate a lot of the life around me that isn't available to a rapid, fossil-fired sort of approach to things. That's the price of wearing the cowboy hat. You always have to get the gates if you wear the cowboy hat. I watch their flank as I stop them at the rate of their breathing, and they'll be breathing real fast, like, and then they'll go. As soon as they take that big sigh, their respiratory slows. That's when I put it right back on them. She just took her big sigh. Woo woo. Well, our horses, if I'm lucky, I'm there when they're born. So I imprint train them to stand, and I do the old thing of once they stand and they get their feet underneath them, I've got them cradled there, and as soon as they get their balance, I release all of my touch with them and I whisper, woo, woo, woo. So they remember what standing still means from the very beginning of life. And so that's when the training starts. That's when I teach them do-si-do. That's when I turn them around in a circle by pulling their head to me and pushing their butt away. I sort of go one side and first the other, so I teach them that dance move so that they can yield to my pressure and with minimum signals. And of course I use voice to do that too. When I turn them to the right, I say G. When I pull them to the left, I say haw. They remember all these things. So it starts at birth, but generally speaking, they can't really pull any heavy weight till they're 5 years old, because it takes that long for their joints to ossify, to become solid and not be damaged by heavy effort. But along the way, we're teaching them how to stand tied, how to lead, how to respect us on the ground and realize that we're the boss horse. I think that's an interesting point, is that in order to work these animals, you have to be a horseman. The horse can only be a horse. So in order to be in touch with them and give signals that they understand, we have to be like a horse too. So I always want to be the boss mare, because that's who runs the show out there. It's the boss mare. It's the senior, usually older, wisest female in the herd that makes a decision of when we go to water and where we eat, and when we eat, and who stands where, and so I try to be the boss mare. What takes a long time is to get them enough life experience that they're not frightened by everything. They're prey animals, and they survive by fear equaling flight, run away. So anytime they see something they don't understand, they become very frightened and want to flee. So it's your job to make them brave, to accept that they can survive whatever they see, even if they don't understand it or haven't seen it before. So that's what my job is, to encourage her. She can go across that bridge. It's not the end of the world. You know, that's why I touched her with that buggy whip. I didn't beat her. I just touched her to remind her that compound signaling that it was okay. The principle of don't take your horses in the woods and hook them to a heavy load the first thing. Then they get too excited too quickly. We want them to think that it's all easy peasy and there's nothing to be worried about. And that's why I wouldn't take them in and hook them to that big log first thing. Hell, they'd think every log was that hard. So a lot of psychology to deal with them. They have minds. They don't have big minds, but they have minds and feelings, and we'll get along a lot better with them if we recognize that. You can do this. You are the best man in the world. You are the best man in the world. Doing real good.